Good evening, everybody. Well, I've got a little bit of a different song for you tonight. It's not traditionally Christian, but I wanted to share with you a lot of our history of what we do today with decorating our trees and where did the Christmas tree come from. So, our song tonight is "Oh Christmas Tree," and it was made back in 1824 by Leipzig and Ernst Ascher. They're German, and that's probably about as best as my German's going to get. This I started this tonight because I got my pretty pink ceramic tree in the mail, and just looking at it, I wanted one so badly because I think the older that you get, sometimes the memories from your childhood just bring you the most joy. And I remember seeing a tree similar to this in my sister's house. Who she helped to babysit me, and I don't know, it was like at Christmas time and memories of a child when your most worry is the math test that you're going to have to complete, and it just seems like all is right in the world at Christmas time. So I got me my pretty pink one, and I'm glad now to have it in my house. Um, so we're going to learn about where did the Christmas tree get started at. So this song, "Oh Christmas Tree," is actually Old Tannenbaum. You've probably heard that. And it is German based. These were two German composers. And in Germany, the way that they celebrate Christmas is they start with the 12 harsh nights of Christmas. That's where our 12 days of Christmas comes from. The tree usually goes up on December the 24th, and it comes down on New Year's Day or on the 6th. And they have the plundering. I love this. When they take the Christmas tree down, and the children come and they eat all those the cookies that had been decorating the tree. They eat the sugar plums. So it's a real fun time for the children. And they have on the 6th, the January 6th, they have, it's called the Night of the Three Kings. And that's when the carolers would come about, and there would be three of them dressed up as the Magi. And so they would go from house to house. I love how the Christmas is still rolling after Christmas Day with the Germans. So evergreens, I wanted to also tie in with Christmas Christ, because that's the reason that we do celebrate Christmas. Evergreens became a symbol of immortality in Germany because in fall and winter, everything else would die off around them. And they thought at this time, this is, centuries ago, that's because of evil spirits. And the evergreen is something that the evil spirits just can't get to. So let's bring it into our home so that the evil can't get us. So they would bring it in, and in the 15th and 16th century, the church got involved in the Christmas trees by encouraging people to decorate it with apples to symbolize the garden, Adam and Eve in the garden. And you might be thinking, well, what do Adam and Eve have to do with Christmas? Well, at this time, whenever they would celebrate Christmas, they would always connect the nativity story to the story of creation. And I love how they do that turnaround, because we know in the garden when Eve and Adam sin, and he told the serpent, he says, I'm going to crush your head. And he did that by making a second Adam. So they would decorate the trees with the apples, and they would have a pageant, and they were referred to as paradise trees. And so sometimes these pageants where they would celebrate, the feast day of Adam and Eve on Christmas Eve, that was a traditional feast day, they would outlaw those. And so people started bringing trees into their home to celebrate it and called them the paradise trees and decorated them with apples. Well, as this time went on, they would also decorate their trees with other symbols of Christ. They would put, it was like a cookie to symbolize, pastry wafers to symbolize the Eucharist. So that's our communion that we do. And this would develop into little cookies. So this is one that my son made me a long time ago, where, we had the gingerbread cookies or the sugar cookies that they would put on there. They would also put other decorations to symbolize Christ. You know, they would cut little paper angels out. And then they would have the candles started being put on the tree to symbolize the light that Christ is. So I loved how the development of the Christmas tree came in all of this. Gift giving began, you know, because typically they would do New Year's gifts. They wouldn't do Christmas gifts. But this began when little items started being hung on the tree. This would be things like a needle case, ribbon and lace, you know, for the ladies' hair, dresses, fiddles, drums even, tin cutouts, you know, that you could cut cookies with, dolls, books, and kind of makes me want to do some of this stuff for my children to go back and celebrate the old ways of Christmas. And let's see, I think that's about it for our history of the Christmas tree. So that's where we get our ideas of how we decorate and how you can incorporate bringing Christ into your home by decorating your tree. So let's sing this song, and we'll just sing one verse of it. But I want you to, as it says, O Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Think about the faithfulness of Christ and how unchanging he is, no matter what season of life that you're in, the pandemic or, you know, in prosperity. Jesus is the same always, and that nature is so good. And who he was 2,000 years ago when he came as a baby, that's who he still is. Who he was in the Old Testament is who he still is. Our God is faithful, and I pray that you see him this Christmas season. So let's start. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but also when it's cold and drear. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Good night.